So it is Ashley from Not Just Boxing here with Alfie, the VP of Marketing. Alfie, DAZN, the home of boxing. What a year it's been for you guys.
Yeah, what a year. Busy year. 170 odd fight nights, well over 1,000 fights on our platform. Lots of work, but we're not slowing down. Actually, obviously, we were just talking off camera there. 2025 is already filling up for us, starting the year with a bang. So yeah, no, we're privileged to be here. I feel personally very privileged to be here, and privileged to be part of what we're doing in part of the world of boxing on DAZN. So yeah, all good.
One thing that's really stuck out for me this year as well, you're investing in the grassroots of boxing.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're here for one of the biggest fight weeks of the year, of the decade, but you're investing in the small hall shows, you're working with the likes of Top Tier, GBM, it's endless, and you're supporting the sport in so many ways. It's incredible to see, because there's a lot of small shows that would never get this type of attention they're getting now, and these fighters, you're elevating British boxing alone by a country mile.
Yeah, well, it's that's kind of to acknowledge that, which is important that certainly fans like yourself, you're banging our target audience to observe that. But you're right. I mean, we've sponsored the Haringey Cup, the biggest amateur boxing tournament I believe in Europe.
Have you been to the Haringey Cup?
Yeah. So I've been going the last couple of years myself.
So good, isn't it?
Do some, meet some people, and it's unbelievable. It's important that we. I can't be going around saying our commitment to boxing is fantastic and just stand at the pay-per-view shows. It's important that we also invest in the grassroots. Not only even the level below the grassroots, the amateurs, the youth. And I was saying it to somebody else just there. Last weekend we had 11 fight nights, and there were everything from the Match from Monaco show to Dillian White, Gibraltar, and 9 other shows. Some of those were small hall. It's important, and I think we will continue to do that next year. We'll continue to work with promoters, we'll continue to invest in sport, we'll continue to position DAZN as the global home of boxing, and prove it. It's important, because I don't want to be the person who's out there just saying it all the time and forcing it down people's neck. You need to prove it, and I feel like we've done that this year, and I know that there's a lot of plans for us next year, and I'm excited to deliver on them.
So how long have you been at DAZN for?
I've been at DAZN for 6 years.
6 years.
I worked in the boxing business for 3.5 years.
So you have seen a complete change of shift, like social media, especially on the DAZN platform. You're seeing a complete change where you're pioneering the way sport is being promoted. You're posting on social media every half an hour. There's fighters from all over the globe being pushed. It's a whole different world now out there.
Yeah, well, it's important, and again, it comes back to the 30 plus promoters that we work with now. It's important that we deliver for them. They are proud of their fighters, they're proud of their roster. It's their jobs to promote them, and they're with a broadcaster like DAZN for a reason, because of our global footprint and our investment in the sport of boxing. So, it's important that we are using our voice and our platform to shout about Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk, but also the amateur fighters, the future stars who in 2 years' time I'd love to be standing talking to you saying, do you remember they were on a smaller hall show, and now look at them, which I wish I could give you an example of that right now, but it's been quite a rapid growth in 3 years. But yeah, I'm very proud for the work that we're doing. It's a lot of work and lots of hard work, but we wouldn't have it any other way, actually.
So on the red carpet last night, I asked a very good question to people. What was the best generation of boxing? A lot of people had said, compared to this era now, we're coming into another great moment where fighters being built, all of the best fighters are fighting each other, and the actual coverage of boxing is bigger than ever.
Yeah, it is. And I'm a boxing fan before I worked with DAZN. So selfishly, I'm talking kind of 2010 era, kind of Foxgroves, Bellew Hay, some of the big British fight nights, But yeah, I think it's hard to think of a time where there was more of a push from all over the place to grow the sport of boxing. The collaboration between promoters, the new rights holders, obviously the Riyadh season guys, the investment that they've made, the commitment that DAZN have committed to boxing can also be reciprocated and is being replicated by the guys at Riyadh season, as they are for multi-sport generally. So yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be ridiculous to say that we're entering it now, but let's see. Long may it continue.
As a boxing fan, like you said there, it's so great to see all the promoters coming together, all of the fighters actually facing each other. For years, we've been starved of this. So as a fan, it's been very, very difficult watching your favourite fighter not fight the right people because of a lot of politics. But it seems that boxing politics is sort of getting washed away.
And we've always, you know, again, we've always done that. You know, you look at DAZN social media posts from 3 years ago, and we're talking about fights on our competitors because they're great fights and we're excited about it and we want to have a voice. I also personally believe that you can't be a credible global home of boxing if you're not commenting on what other people are doing. You know, embrace it, of course, when it's to be, we're going to prioritise our own shows, of course. But, you know, it's important to have a voice, important to have a credible voice, and important to give credit where it's due elsewhere, and I feel like we've done that. We'll continue to do it, but we're in a position now where you're hard pushed to have an event that isn't on DAZN. So, you know, we've worked very hard to deliver that as well. 3 years ago, you know, we were doing making a lot of moves in boxing and making a lot of, you know, putting on some of the biggest fights in the world still.
And so many casual fans are really coming into the sport. I've got friends that have never spoken to me about boxing. I've got mates from school I've not spoken to in years, messaging me, asking about all of these fights.
Yeah, of course, these types of shows are, you know, going to transcend into the mainstream. But you know, there've been a lot of our shows this year have, you know, done extremely well, and that's testament to, you know, the work that we do. I feel it's fair to pat ourselves on the back a little bit, which I don't like to do too much, but I think we do a good job of what we do. We invest a lot of capital, resource, and time into making the schedule what it is, to diversify in our platform, to innovate in our platform, to listening to the consumers, to scouring socials and seeing what people are saying and what they like, and importantly what they don't like, and trying to adjust it wherever we can or when things are in our control.
You're even covering different languages. There's different commentary teams. That is just, it's blowing my mind. That's what we've needed for years.
Yeah.
You know, I saw it's in Polish as well on DAZN.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we've got up to 8 different languages all over the world because everyone should be able to watch. And we try and make that so for everything across pricing to commentary to viewing experiences. For example, watch-alongs this weekend, you know, social media content like yourself.
So who's on the watch-alongs? Where can people see that?
Yeah, so if you head to DAZN, you buy the pay-per-view on DAZN and there'll be a tile. So we have watch-alongs, exclusive watch-alongs with True Geordie and his crew, which if any of you see, we've done a few of those guys before. They're always a fantastic experience and lots of energy. If that's your thing, there's some of that going on. We have Wade Permans, again, obviously very popular in that space. Showbiz, the adult, again. Yeah, look, we invest a lot in our talent as well. We've obviously got Eddie on broadcast this weekend as an analyst, which is quite good because I think there's no shortage of people who have heard from Eddie in the world, but maybe not in that capacity. Obviously, the legend Adam Smith, who I'm a big fan of, is with
that
us
is a great call for this weekend.
Yeah,
Adam
so,
Smith, brilliant commentator.
Yeah, you know, that's kind of the era I grew up listening to boxing. So yeah, you know, I like to think that we push the boat out for, you know, we cater for the fans who come to DAZN every single week, of which there are a lot, and we're extremely grateful to those guys and we look after them. But also for the more casual fans, we'd love for them to stay beyond this week. So it's our job to, when they get on platform, that's only a very small part of the job done. We need to make sure that they're very clear that if there's boxing in the future, they're going to watch it on DAZN. And not only that, we've obviously got other sports, and we're a multi-sport platform.
Well, you cover the Vanarama National League, and I'm a big fan of the National League.
Yeah, well, there we go.
I'm a huge fan, you know, to have that covered. Again, we're
Good
covering...
time of year for National League.
Yeah, it's best time of year. Unfortunately, I've got Maidstone United, so that's where I'm from, but we're in the Vanarama South, and we're not doing too well.
Okay, where are you?
We're like middle of the table in the Vanarama South, so...
There's that, you know, we've obviously got NFL Game Pass in the UK and globally everywhere, excluding the US. The UEFA Women's Champions League, Saudi Pro League, Professional Fighters League. So there's a ton of content for people to enjoy beyond boxing as well. But look, we're accepting that this week there's going to be a ton of boxing fans coming to our platform. I think in the UK at this moment in time, where, you know, boxing is our core prop, and we really hope that people continue to come back to our platform. So yeah, it's good.
Signing Queensbury is massive for the amount of Queensbury fighters that you're about to promote. Have you spoken about how you're going to elevate
We have.
views and everything. Can you tell us your plan and how you are trying to get more viewers?
Yeah, well, I think that obviously Frank himself and the Queensberry roster, which to your point is unbelievable really, the amount of world champions they've got, the home of the heavyweights with the exception of 1 or 2, all the biggest heavyweights are there. So yeah, our plans are, they have massive ambitions as well, which is a big part of where the collaboration stem from. You know, their energy to still do more, their energy to still improve and to expand and grow is palpable, and we love that. So the plans are just more shows, cross-pollinate them with other promoters. Obviously there's a ton of matchups that can be made, you know, which everyone is extremely excited about. I personally, as a fan, am thinking about what can be made. It's not my job to matchmake, to be clear, but you know, I could certainly give my opinion on what I think certain good fights are. So our plans are to fold them into the roster very quickly. Of course, it's not till April 1st. We've spent a lot of time with Frank, George and all of the team, of course, with our collaboration with them as the lead production for the Riyadh season shows. We've worked very closely with them over the last 12 months. Got a fantastic working relationship. But yeah, I think I'd love to give you a bit more, other than the fact that the plan is to just immerse them into our platform as early as possible, you know, in advance of when the fight's contract formally starts, April 1st, as I said. And yeah, cross-pollinate with other promoters and make fights that, to your point earlier, maybe wouldn't have happened a couple of years ago.
Lastly, can you just look at the camera and tell everyone where they can watch Usyk Fury 2 tomorrow night?
Yeah, so Usyk Fury 2, live worldwide on DAZN. Available to buy now at DAZN.com/boxing, anywhere in the world. We can't wait to see you there. And next year is going to be a huge year for DAZN. So thank you for your support so far, and more to come from us.
Thank you so much, Alfie. Appreciate you.